It's live streaming. Just said, I got it. And I just want to make sure that I can mute it here on the side of YouTube. Just bear with me a second. Okay. All right. Okay, let me go here. Okay, welcome everybody. I'm super excited because we are right now into probably the best time when you are launching any business. Now, every time you sponsor somebody, doesn't matter if it's 2 years from now, they're in their own pre-launch, and those pre-launches are usually short, only 2 weeks, etc. But right now, we are in the pre-launch of the company. It's so important that in the next 90 days, we put a lot of effort connecting with as many people as we can. Why? Because when I say pre-launch, that means that you are one of the first ones in your city, in your state, in the whole United States, and the whole planet. Nobody, or very few people know about us. There are a lot of people going crazy. And of course, you are going to attract a lot of people that they just want to be millionaires overnight without doing anything. Don't be even worried if you sponsor like 20 people and 19 of them don't do anything. But right now we are going to sponsor a lot of people, and you are going to go into the numbers in a second and why it's so important to do it today. Actually, I can tell you right now. The excitement that I have is because I had never been in pre-launch. And pre-launch is a very important part in a company because you are planting the basis of what is going to be your business in the future, when it's going to be your big business in the future. And now, even though I have not lived through a pre-launch, let me tell you why it's so important to take massive action in the next 3 months, actually in the first year, because this is the way that goes. Pre-launch is before actually the official launch in the company is. That's why they're going to be correcting some bugs. The products are not going to be sent until March 15. And think about that. This is pre-launch. Now, the launch is going to be at the end of May, beginning of June. We don't have the date yet. That means that we have around 90 days to launch to the business. Now, this is so important because it's, first of all, very few people know about the company. Second, we are putting the action. And this is the goal is to connect with as many people as we can and work with the team, make sure that we simplify the system. And I'm going to go to some basics, but basics that you can use right now to explode your business. Now, I have to welcome all of you. We have many people. I'm excited. All of you are excited to work with you. And of course, I'm very excited. We have a veteran from the industry and a great friend, Udana Powers. She's an amazing networker, and we are going to be interviewing in the future. She doesn't know that. Oh, now she knows because she's here. Because she has written books about network marketing. She has been very successful, $1 million earner, and also she has been a person that has contributed in many other causes too. And also she has been involved in TV and probably some of you recognize her name, etc. But anyway, I'm so excited again. And I think Udana is surprised that I said I was going to interview her. Not today, obviously. I'm not saying today. But anyway, but it's so super exciting what we are having, what I can see now. And now something else that I was going to tell you, why pre-launch is also important and why it's so important to put action. Several years ago, and that was in 1994, I got into this company. It was a little more than 2 years old. And Alex Cocking was in that company. He knows who I'm talking about. I sponsor a guy that he said, for the next 12 months, I'm going to give it all. I'm going to talk to as many people as I can. And he gave us a priority to connect with people that were in his chicken list. Now, what is his chicken list? It's people that you were scared to death to talk. And he set up that goal. And the guy, I had to say, he was not afraid of anything. And he started making calls, connecting with people. And then what happened is that in the first 12 months, I don't remember exactly how many people he sponsored, but actually in the first 9 months, it was a huge amount. But of that people, about 6 of them or 8 of them became top leaders. As a matter of fact, one of them, you probably know him, was Jimmy Smith. For those of you that don't know, of course, at the time, he was not a top leader. He was just coming out of the bankruptcy. But that's another story. And he started connecting with all these people, and then he launched his business. 9 months later, he said, I am done. Let me tell you what happened. He had never worked 1 hour after that in his business. And every year, every month since 1994 is getting a multiple six-figure income per year, multiple six income. And he never worked again, 9 months. Why? Because his dream was to become a chef. Think about that. This guy's making a lot of money, but his dream was to become a chef. He went to a culinary school I think it was Lexington, Kentucky. I don't remember exactly, but he went there. He learned how to become a chef. He was the only chef or a student that was driving a brand new Lexus. He loved Lexus, and his wife too. And then what happened? He graduated as a chef, and he went to work in one of the most prestigious restaurants in there. Why? Because he had money. He connected with a lot of people that had great restaurants, and they gave him one of them, gave the opportunity. And he became actually the chef eventually, not right away. And he said, okay, I have done it. And then he opened a restaurant. He said, okay, I have done it. He sold it eventually. And he has been done different dreams, traveled around the country with his wife. They bought a beautiful farm outside in Kentucky. I don't remember outside what city. And the guy, again, had no work 1 day of his life in the network marketing business at all. He just been following his dreams. Why? Because he set up the goal for a year. It's just that he found the strong leaders in 9 months. Once in a while, he was connected with them on the phone, etc., but he was not building the business. And that's an example of what can happen when a person launched themselves. Now, that was in a company that was 2 years old. Imagine what can happen in a pre-launch. I was talking to Mark Hewell, and he's many of you know who he is. He's one of the top networkers in the world. And he told me that the first time that he went into a launch, he did the same thing. He went and this was the first time that he went into a pre-launch, where we are now. For the following 90 days, he went super strong. And now he didn't stop working what Kenneth, my friend, did, but he kept working. But he said he slowed down and still keeps sponsoring people, but he was supporting his team. In 2 years, he was earning over $700,000 per month, not per year, per month. He built a house that was featured in HGTV, an $11 million home, as one of the most incredible homes in the area where he was living in Utah, in northern Utah. I went to his house. He has 12 cars parked. I don't know who has 12 parking. Of course, you want to have 12 cars, of course, but he has a garage for 12 cars. He has a swimming pool that looks like you were in a resort. He has a basement with a basketball court, the regular side, not a little one, regular side, and a huge home theater. I mean, amazing. And why? Because he pre-launched. This has a pre-launch his business super strong. And then he created the base. When 2.5 years later, he was at the top of his game, and eventually, and basically, although he's working with us now, he's in our upline in 3, because he say, I love what is happening, I don't want to miss it. He has all the money of the world right now. But he said, I'm not going to miss it. And he's going the same way that he went to with that company where he got to that kind of income. Anyway, and tonight we are going to, or today, this is not recorded, this is today. Today we are going to go to the basics. And when I mean basics, because this is interesting. When I used to do martial arts, and I don't know how many of you have done martial arts, I was doing a style that was called Shotokan. This is a Japanese kind of martial arts or karate. And then one time, the guy that was our master, as we call it, or sensei, he told us a story about how to become a master. Now, this guy has been second in world champions. I mean, the guy was really good. And he was saying that there was a guy that came to this big master, and then he was saying, I want to be a master like you. He said, okay. Then he taught him the basic katas or basic movements. And then he started doing those month after month. And then after a year, he said, okay, I'm ready. What do I do now? Repeat it again. And he did the same thing by the 3rd year. He said, come on, I want to be a master. And he said, when you master the basics, you are a master already. And we try to be so sometimes try to think that we have to learn new stuff. By the way, new stuff is good because your technology has improved this business. And that's one of the reasons we can go faster today because we have connect with most people, but the basics are always the same. And that's where we are going to go in a second. Let me share my screen. Hold on a second. Okay, let me make sure that I have the right slides. Okay, all right. I'm going to go through some slides. Not everything is going to be in the slide, but I would like to show you what a system is. And it's very simple. It's very simple. A system is very simple. You have to simplify it because if you don't make it simple, guess what? It's going to be hard to duplicate. The second part is systems work. Systems, you have to get to the point that the system become the expert, not you. And let me tell you why. Because if you are always the expert, one day you are going to be burned out because you have 100 calls a day. You don't have time for yourself. It's why it's so important that the system becomes the master. And I'm not going to go in detail on that part today, but just enough for you to that you can be very dangerous. And one day by mastering this, you become the master. As simple as that. Okay, let me go right now into my PowerPoint. Okay, all right, it's right there. Sharing screen. Okay. Oops. That's somebody's clicking something here. Let's make all right. Okay, fast start system. Okay, fast start. By the way, the system is fast or slow, it depends on you. That's it. Some people, it's not working because if you are not working it out, become a slow start system or no go anywhere system. Think about that. Now, what I'm going to show you, the first thing is a process. And the process actually has been shown in many words, many names through the history of network marketing. And that's the process that, by the way, most business even work. And so you have seen, but anyway, we are going to see how you are going to launch your pre-launch. Remember, it's so important to start using the word pre-launch because that's what we are. We are not launching our business. We are pre-launching your business. And that sounds even more sexier. Plus, it's the reality. We are pre-launching our business right now. And that's something that we have to make sure. Now, there is a daily method of operation that is actually a process. It's not necessarily a system, but it's connected to a system. Daily method of operation, you have seen it many times in many ways. And I learned this in 92, that was before I was in the second company. In 92, from a guy, his name was Burke Hedges, or is Burke Hedges, he's still alive. Burke Hedges has written many books, and probably the most famous was Who Stole the American Dream, that he wrote in the 90s. And we became very good friends. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get him here. But he had become very wealthy now. He has he does media, commercials, etc. I mean, and he has construction company, etc. But anyway, let me admit this person. Okay, for some reason my admitting is not working. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on just a second because I have to admit these people, and for some reason it's not working. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, let me, Demetrio, Italy. Okay. Let me see, who is here? Okay. All right, let me go to the big screen again. Okay, this is very simple. This is a process. First, your list, you need the customers. And this is in any business. You need the customers in any business. It doesn't matter if it's network marketing or you have an ice cream place or a hot dog stand, you need the customers. And the first people that you always start is people that know you. It's funny when people come into the business, say, I don't want to talk to anybody that I know. And I say, well, that means if you open a restaurant, you keep a secret. If you are opening any business, you become a dentist and you don't tell your friends, hey, I'm not going to tell you because I started my business. First, I'm going to talk to strangers. always your business, your list is so important. But that list, by the way, it keep increasing by us being out there. Your list is not the only thing, and I have to make sure that we understand that. Many people in other network marketing companies say the only thing that you need is the names. Yeah, you can start like that, but you have to go beyond that eventually if you really want to grow, because eventually most of your leaders are going to be people that you have never met yet. I'm not going to tell you your list is the only way, and we are going to go through that. There are many other ways. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a training next week, how never to run out of people at all. But when we are going to talk today, you can start already getting to that point, never run out of people. The next one is just to connect. Connect is when you're inviting people. Connect the first time, and then from there, you invite people. The next one is presenting, and the last one is follow-up. That's the process. You have to be connecting with people, you have to be presenting to people, you have to be following up. And now some people mention, and in many ways it's true, they say the fortune is the follow-up, but I go beyond that. I say the fortune is in the process, because if you don't have the list, there's no way that you can follow up anybody. If you don't connect with people, the follow-up is a fail. If you don't present ever, your follow-up is a failure too. And it's why, although I like the process, the fortune is in the follow-up. And the reason, by the way, that I said is because most people are scared to death to follow up. Because and I was one of them. I was sending videos and I was inviting people to my home, and I say, okay, goodbye. I never called them back because I was afraid if they were going to say no or yes. And by the way, this is the news in the follow-up part. We are not going to go strong on that, but I'm going to tell you at front. We had to call them because most people don't respond. They're not going to call you back unless they are a certain kind of personality that they get excited the first time. But most people need at least 4 or 5 follow-ups because they want to have some answers, and they want to make sure that really you care about them. Now, you are 2 leaders away of incredible success in this pay plan. It's interesting because I'm not going to, of course, money depends on your effort, etc. But I'm going to tell you a story that happened last week to me. When I look at my, I think that was on Tuesday or Wednesday, I was qualified only like 2-star. Now, 2-star is very simple to get. I think the volume is only like 900 points or something like that to get there. Very simple. It was 2-star still because, of course, the week was starting out, although I have so much volume jumping. And I say, wow, this is cool, but I am only 2-star. And then I click, and there's on the left side that says your projected check so far. And I clicked there and I almost fell off my chair because even that was only a 2-star, my income was going already around 8,000 in that week. And I said, what the heck? And that's when I saw the full potential of this pay plan. 8,000 is 400,000 a year. The next day, still I was still 2-star, and it already was 10,000 in that week. And that's 500,000. In other words, this pay plan is done in a way that you don't have to be a super duper triple, whatever, I don't remember the highest, I think it's Royal Black Diamond or something like that, or 7-star. You don't have to be at that level to get a great income. And of course, my income keep coming and coming. And then last week was the biggest income that I ever had in network marketing in a week. And I had earned in the past my biggest income. I don't know how much it was, but of course, a lot of people coming together, we had to think about that. It's not like a situation that's normal. A lot of people came together, etc. But I was surprised. I was surprised because I have earned over 20,000 a week in the past, and this was higher. But anyway, let me see. I cannot admit people for some reason. Okay, I have to get out of my screen to do that. Oh. All right, now I'm back. Oops. Okay, and that's why you are just 2 people away. Now, that doesn't mean that you sponsor 2 people and you are done. No. And right now, today, you're going to see why I say that. Okay. Now, there's something called 6 degrees of separation, and I know a few of you are familiar with that theory. It says basically that within 6 degrees, you can connect with anybody in the planet, anybody. That means that within maybe 2 degrees or 3 degrees, you are close to somebody that's a networker. And when I mean a networker, I'm not talking about somebody that's in network marketing. It's a person that has a good circle of influence. Could be a mom, a huge circle of influence. Could be a student, has a huge circle of influence. Could be a retired person, a huge circle of influence. Could be a professional, a huge circle of influence. And when a person is excited about something and they tell the circle of influence, what do the people do, or the followers? They follow that person. As a matter of fact, in the company that was before, I have in my organization around 30 people that earn over $1 million, and only 5 had experience in network marketing. They came from different. There was a banker, there was a fitness instructor, there was a mechanic, there was a hairstylist. I mean, it didn't matter. There were 2 moms. I mean, it didn't matter where a person came, but they have a big circle of influence. That means with the 6 degrees of separation theory, that is not a theory, you within 2 or 3 in your town, could be your neighbor. Do you have a person that's ready to say, is ready to say this? I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. Because, and by the way, many times people think that that's only applied to people that need something. No. It's usually people that have high ambitions. It could be somebody that's already successful. It could be a person that was successful in the past, or it could be a person that just wants to be a better life. And this is in every way. Okay. It's why I say within 6 degrees, you can reach anybody in the planet, anybody. And today with social media, whoa, even more. Now, journalists, this is important. Your smartphone is a gold mine. Now, the highest position here is something royal, black diamond, etc. In other words, you have a bunch of diamonds there. The second one is find friends and people you know in social media and all the people that are following. Even if you say, yeah, I have 1,000 friends, but I know only 100 of those, because in my case, I have like 4,000 something. And I don't know the majority of them. But the idea is to connect with them. But then also you have followers. And by the way, the average, the median or the average person in Facebook, they have 500 friends and followers, or friends in total. That means that you have 100 followers, friends. Imagine that, just 100, not the average, 100. Multiply 500 times 100. You can have a reach to 50,000 people just there. Think about that, 50,000 people. It's why right now there is not a limit of how many people you can connect. Social media in general, there are more than 3 billion people in social media today. This is without counting the traditional ways that you are going to be doing interactions, shopping, when you're shopping, restaurants, social events, malls, schools, sports, church. And I have a whole training on how to go into all those things. But then right now we are going to go to, again, the basics, because the basics is what is going to take you in the next 90 days to the next level, although we are going to be talking about that through the different weeks. Now, your numbers, very important. And this is something to keep in mind. We are going into a launch. The launch is not until May. Your ideal goal is that you sponsor in the next 90 days at least 20 people that are looking for business, at least. The ideal, of course, more than that. Now, this is an example. Let's suppose that you do in 30 days, you want to have those 20. That's you have to exposure. And this is rule of thumb, by the way. Rule of thumb is going to be different for anybody. It doesn't mean that's exactly. But when you do 5 exposures, and these exposures means these are people that actually are looking at the information. They are looking at the video that you send. They are looking at the Zoom that you invite them. And that's 20 a day, 5 days a week, the approaches. In other words, to get 5 people looking at the information, you need 20 people. In other words, for every 4 people, you have 1 that's going to be looking. Those numbers, by the way, could be higher or lower. Usually when a person has a strong circle of influence, the numbers are much better. For every 2 people are looking at the information. But look at this like the average anyway. Okay, I have to do this again. To find the way how to, well, the person that usually does with me. It's not here. Okay. Now, 60 days, 30 days, you can do that, by the way, sponsor 20. On 60 days, you can do the same thing, but of course, your exposures go down. It's 90 days, and because we are going to be 90 days, your exposure is 1 to 2 a day. Every day, people are looking at the business. Now, again, your average could be 4-on-1, 5-on-1, 3-on-1. The more you do it, those averages start improving in a big way. But these numbers are so important because when we sponsor 20 people, and by the way, I'm going to say here, these have to be people that see the whole picture. Some people say, I talk about to 20 or 40 or 100 people about the products. And I have 20 people in the team, but they are not doing anything because you didn't show the whole picture. We are showing the lifestyle, the whole lifestyle. And of course, getting healthier with the products or staying healthy with the products, stay more active with the products. But at the same time, because it's a lifestyle, include also ways to have more time freedom and more money, obviously, because usually when you have more money, you have more time freedom in a business like this. And that's why we have to show the whole picture, not part of the picture, but the whole picture. And that's so important. Okay, the body system, and this is very important. It's very important that you find a person that you want to work together. And the reason is because you are going to be accountable to each other. And by the way, a body system can be a group of 3 or 4, but I would never go more than that. But it's where you are accountable. And by the way, usually the accountability most of the time is not your spouse, because many spouses start fighting, and of course they know where you live and all stuff. It's usually better a person outside. Sometimes it's better even if it's not a relative. But it's good. It's better if it's a person that's in your team. It could be your upline, or it could be your downline. It's much better. You can do it outside your team, but it's better to do it in the same team, because then you have similar goals. You have you want to all of you reach a higher goal. Okay, and by the way, when you have it's not easy to. Sorry, let me move here. But it's so important. Again, you are going to focus on the daily task, and this is something that I'm going to show you now because it's really cool. Now, tools. Now, you say, what is llaunch.com? That's something that we are working on it, although it's operating already. Let me see if I can share it. Okay, if I go to, let me get out here first, because I don't remember. Okay, 3. I have it ready, but I don't see it right now. Oh, okay, here it is. This is, I was still working on it, but also you have seen other side. This is a landing page that we are working on, and it's going to be even better right now. But the way that it's now, I like it, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to show it to you how it works. And let me tell you why I'm doing this. When you talk to the person, you have to make sure that the person, remember I told you the system has to become the expert. And then what you are going to do is to use a system. A person is going to watch, you can send it to a video. Oh, let me preface on this. All network marketing. And all network marketing that you were doing home presentations, one-on-one presentations, hotel meetings. And new network marketing, you still are doing presentations, and you can do home presentations, but they become online presentations. And the one-on-one, they can become also online presentations, and the hotel presentation already also could be online presentation using Zoom or recording pieces. When I started in network marketing, one of my first mentors was Burke Hayes, the one that wrote the book, Who Stole the American Dream. And he was the first time that I heard something that I heard many years later: don't be a fool, use the tools. And this was in 1992. And I thought that was, many people thought it was an original in the 2000s. No, that came from early 1990s. And this guy was using just audio cassettes, by the way. Some of you, I don't even know what an audio cassette is, but he was using audio cassettes. He was using recording, it was called the Cecil. And I know Alex and I use the Cecil a lot in the past. We have a 3-minute audio recording that people call to a phone number. They listen to a recording. I say, you like this? Call this number or click 2, and they went to a longer presentation that was 50 minutes. And if they like it, they went to a longer presentation, and then they call us if they were very excited, or we call it follow-up because we knew who we were sending to those calls. And that works tremendously. And then we were, this was mostly for long distance. Locally, we were doing it different. We were doing passing around audios and all stuff. And the interesting thing that works. I mean, we created a big business. The person that taught me, like Brock Hayes and then Mark Janelle, that was another person. These two guys, and some of you probably know the name Mark Janelle. Mark Janelle used to be called the best networker in the world. Because the simplicity that he was putting to his systems, his full training were only 4 pages, and he created so many millionaires in network marketing. But again, the idea is simplicity. Now, what I was, and now I lost my train of thought I was saying. But anyway, the important thing here is that we kept to a system and simplicity using tools. And that website, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, let me see. Okay, you can see it there. All right. Let me move this. And then you see it has a timer. The timer is for at the end of May. That's actually 76 days. That can change as soon as it's officially. We are currently in pre-launch in 14 countries simultaneously and plan to officially launch in the last week of May 2023. And then we have the first video. It's only like a minute. And so you probably see.
Are looking for a life of meaning and significance. A life that makes a difference in the world. A life that truly matters. We believe this is found through the right people, platform, and purpose. We call this movement 3. It starts with giving people greater health through the power of our proactive wellness products. 3's innovative formula deliver demonstrable results by maximizing bioavailability and cellular absorption, ensuring people everywhere can enjoy the nutrition they need to operate at their best. Building on our foundation of people-focused products, we provide a platform for unparalleled entrepreneurship and personal growth. 3 is there beside you every step of your journey towards building a business and a better life. Finally, we know that a sense of real purpose, the kind that moves hearts, minds, and mountains, comes through serving and elevating others. This philosophy is reflected in our caring community, which bring hope and life-saving help to people around the world. It's time to redefine what's possible and activate your full potential. It's time to live a life of purpose. It's time for 3.
Okay, I know the video doesn't come perfect because we are in the online, but this is the first video. And you see, it's very short and sweet. Somebody cannot tell you, I don't have time to watch a 2-minute video. 2-minute video. Now, let me show the second one that is also 3 minutes. And let me see if I can improve the video resection by doing a little trick here. No, I cannot do it. Okay. Anyway, here is the second video. And as you see, and by the way, do you hear the video? I want to make sure.
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Because yeah, I assume we did. Okay. Let me cut this out. Oh, shoot. Okay, this is the second one. This is more like a team video, and it's also really short. I think it's 3 minutes.
Your lifetime, you may, if you're extremely lucky, see the stars align perfectly, where you can get involved with a company that can change your life physically, spiritually, and financially in a most meaningful way, and have an opportunity to potentially bless thousands of lives.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Carbonell from Austin, Texas, and I am an industry leader in the network marketing space. I am looking forward to creating a more positive change in the modern network marketing space. And my word to describe what we're doing together is dynamic.
Hi, my name is Gail Elliott. I'm from Lumberton, Texas. I am an industry leader. The one word that I would use to describe this collaboration is unified.
Hi, my name is Jatash Nansen, industry leader from Charlotte, North Carolina. If I had one word to describe this collaboration, it would be ingenious. Get ready.
Hi everyone, Dr. C.B. and Dave Helsel here from St. Joe, Missouri. We're actually in Cancun now, but we're from St. Joe, Missouri. We are industry leaders in the network marketing space. We are super excited about this new collaboration, and my one word would be evolved.
Okay, I'm going to stop here because I don't want to show all the videos, but this is the second. Then video 3, amazing, unique technology. Here we have Dr. Dan talking about the products, a great presentation where he revealed the products. They see the video 3. Video 4, then you see the presentation, amazing presentation that Samsung did 2 days ago, and talking about the whole view, big picture, including the pay plan. And that's it. That's the video. And he say, get back to the person that invited you to this site. It's not a capture page anywhere or anything like that. And that is the tool that we were talking about, where you are going to be sending people just to see the 3 videos. Now, I'm redoing it in a way that actually people see only the first video, then click to go to the second one, then click to go to the third one, instead of being all in the same page. I'm redoing that, but it's going to be the same site. Jericho said, when you have a target audience, and we are going to have about that. By the way, Dana said, create a system and the system runs the business. And it's totally true. And you're a great example because the system that you have created for your teams in the past, you're an amazing example of what everything works. Somebody is in Spanish. I'm working in Spanish through Alex. We are putting at the beginning, we are putting some subtitles in some of the videos. Other ones, we are going to do it with Spanish speakers, similar to what you saw. But again, we are, as you see, because the company is brand new, we are setting up stuff and everything, but we know that works. But anyway, let me go to the next slide, because we are going to show you something cool. Actually, I think everything's cool. I don't know why. All right. Let me go to the PowerPoint again. All right, PowerPoint. And by the way, you see, we have tons of tools in the business, but we are going to focus on just few ones because we don't have to use all of them. Now, depend on the person. Eventually, if you want to, you can use other tools. But for now, let's focus on what we have. And let's go again into the PowerPoint. Okay, now this is the Zoom. You already saw the system is very simple. You're just going to see, invite people to, invite a preview to a site, could be to preview a site like the one that we see, or a Zoom. In other words, we have right now in the whole group, there are about 2 Zooms a day, and we are going to be posting to make sure, and Shout, and I forgot to put that. Shout is the app where we are putting all this information, and we are, I don't know if somebody wants to put it on the chat, shout.com. And actually, we're going to send put an invitation where you click and go straight there, because if you go shout.com, it can send you someplace else. But invite to preview a site or a Zoom. A Zoom, again, we are going to have, or we are already having about 2 presentations a day in our team, and some days even more, because, for example, Corbin and Holly, they did an amazing interview with, I'm not going to say with whom, but we are going to have it on a unique site that is going to have just that interview. But they did one live. As I say, they do also one live. That would be, let's see, 13 presentations a week that are live, that are happening somewhere in our team, somewhere in our direct team, and another one in our upline. And the company is going to have one. In other words, you are going to have time to choose everything. Now, we are going to also, of course, we had the video of the presentation. Now, 3-way test or call follow-up. This is so powerful. Let me go first through this and then close. That's it. That's the system. That's it. Keep it simple. Example, and I'm going to go really quick. When we go to a fast food restaurant, let's suppose a very healthy one from Ireland called McDonald's. No, I'm just joking, Scottish. But anyway, you go to McDonald's, and I hope you don't, but let you go to McDonald's. And then when you go there and you go inside, where the fries are, on the left side or on the right side? Now, you go to a McDonald's in Hong Kong or in Beijing or in Alaska, in any city, in Alaska, or you go in Europe, always they have the McDonald's at the same side. And usually the business being run by a teenager, basically. Now, why is successful? Because they keep it simple. They keep it simple. And most of the franchises, big franchises, do that. They keep it simple. It's why franchises are so successful and the rate of failure is very small. It's just that you are limited to the location. Because in a McDonald's, yeah, you can make $1 million a year, but you have to invest more than $1 million. You have to have more than one franchise. And you're going to be dealing with teenagers for the rest of your life, and they are not even your teenagers. That's why it's not a good idea. But the fact is that here, you are just dealing with people that you want to work with, your friends, your family, etc. You're building this big organization, and the idea is to keep it simple. Now, there are many other ways to build a business, sure. But here, the only thing that you have to become is, let's suppose, an expert. I'm going to call it an inviter. There's a guy that I met years ago. We became friends. That was probably in the late 90s. He became a multi-millionaire in network marketing. Now, when he started, he was what they call the epic failure. He couldn't go anywhere with network marketing. And the reason is because he said the reason was because he was scared to talk to people. And when he was scared, he used to talk too much. Plus, he feeling that he didn't have the education because he never finished high school, for example. And this guy went to his upline and he said, I really, really need to make money. He had been mechanic and he lost his place in a fire. And then now he was working for somebody else. And then he said, I have to make this work. And then the guy said, well, I'm going to teach you how to become a director. I ain't calling it inviter, but it's the same thing, a director. And he said, director, where's director in the pay plan? I don't see director in the pay plan. No, I'm going to teach you how to be an expert in directing people to the information. Because when you become an expert in directing people to information, you don't have to actually do it. You are sending it to the people that does the best presentation, the best videos, the best everything. And when you become an expert director, you are going to be very, very, very successful. And he did that. He started inviting people, just learn how to invite without talking too much people, and inviting to videos, inviting to presentation, inviting to one-on-one, inviting to 3 ways. That was why he became an expert. And the guy, well, eventually, one day he said that, and this was like 8 years ago, he realized, wow, my dreams are reality. I'm a neighbor with Kobe Bryant when Kobe Bryant was alive. Imagine a neighbor, imagine the house that he has, several $1 million home. And the guy became a director. He, even today, when you see him presenting, he's a nice guy, but he's very rough. But he knows how to direct people to the information. And he has earned over 50 or 60 million in network marketing. Plus, he has invested so well that, anyway, not only he has a great income on network marketing, but he has investments in real estate and everything all over the place. But, and I call it inviter, actually. It's basically the same thing. You become a professional inviting people to this information, to this website, to a Zoom tonight, and by the way, also presentations. As soon as more presentations start going around, of course, you can send people to a presentation. You become a professional inviter presentation. Now, in today's world, because what happened after COVID, a lot is done online. You can, and I'm serious when I say you can build your whole business online. How do I know? Well, we can see it in our organization. You're familiar with Amy Dunlap. Until about June last year, she was doing a lot of trips, traveling around. As a matter of fact, she did a tour in March or April when she visited 13 cities in about 15 days. I mean, but she was so tired because she helped her daughters to take care of the little kids. She had grandkids, and she started to burn out. She started to burn out. And then she called me and she said, Josh, do you think I can build just online, at least most of the time? And I said, well, you're very successful doing Zooms. Because she was saying, I went to Phoenix, Arizona, all the way from where I live in San Luis, went to Phoenix, Arizona. It took 3 days there. We had 3 meetings, and in the 3 meetings together, we have 6 prospects. Well, I can do a Zoom, and I can have 20, 30, 40 prospects. And even if I have the same 6, I don't have to move from the area where I am. And then in June, she decided to go deep into how to build a system to work online, mostly using Zooms at the time. And what happens from June to June, that was last year, from June to around September, she went from an income from around, she was making good money. I mean, she was like 2,000, 3,000 a week to about 10 to 12,000 a week in only 5 months, but without doing meetings. When I mean meetings, she was doing the Zoom meetings, and her team was doing the Zoom meetings, and they were inviting the Zoom meetings, and they believe in the Zoom meetings. Yeah, as a matter of fact, most of the Zooms that are in our team are happening in her group because she trained a lot of people to do the same thing, to do Zooms. But you can do your own Zooms too. You eventually, when you become an expert, it's nice when you are the person, and you can record the Zooms, and you don't have to be on all those Zooms. Think about that too. But the idea is to leverage our time and to really to have the time freedom that network marketing offered when it started in the 50s. Actually, probably before that. But in the 50s, with a company called California Vitamins, it started, and they didn't even call it network marketing, but there was a sales, they were selling vitamins. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, California Vitamins was the grandfather of Amway. And for those of you, because the 2 top guys from California Vitamins, they started Amway, and they eventually bought California Vitamins and became neutralized as part of the Amway brand. But anyway, and people were working from their home. Yes, true, but they were doing so many home presentations. And then when they started expanding outside the city, they were traveling all the time, etc. And yes, you have the freedom that you could create an income, but you were working, I mean, being out of the house for so long. Here with the technology, you can do exactly the same. And then but you can expand quicker because you are building from your computer where you are now, and you are talking to the people that you know. If let's suppose that you live in California, people that live in New York, and people that live in Florida, people that live in Alaska, people that live in Australia, or any country where we are open. And then you can expand. And then with the tools that we have that are recorded, people can see the information, and we are working in some cool stuff that we are going to be adding to that to make it even the technology and to the system become the expert. No, the system become the expert. And then just you by learning, basically the only thing that you have to get expert is inviting people. And of course, you are going to learn how to do presentation, because the more presentation you see, the better you become if you have to do a one-on-one presentation on Zoom or in person. And that's a point that I'm going to bring, very important. In the past, we were having these big books, and they say how to do a home presentation. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You know the best way to learn? Is to, when your upline invite you, say, okay, I want to do at least 7 or 10 presentations with you. Now, he or she does the presentation, but you are learning by being immersed in the presentation. Then you say, okay, I want to do the introduction. I want to do a little more. And eventually you become an expert, and it's way better than get a book about how to do a presentation that sometimes you go to 20 or 30 pages. But if you're working within the system, you're going to become an expert, but because the system is the one that is the expert, you've been taught by the system. That's so important. And you can be doing the business. You can be in Hawaii or in Tahiti. I don't know what's your favorite place, Tahiti or the middle of the Amazon. For some people, the Amazon, and the system is working. And you can even move today. I have one of the new members that we have in our team. He lives in Mexico, close to Cancun. He's an American, but he lived there. Guess what? He's running the business from there. And you say, well, we are in Mexico. How he get his products? Well, he has a home in Las Vegas. He get the products to Las Vegas, but he's building right now his business from Cancun. outside Cancun. He's by the beach. He's the sun and everything, and he's building the business. And by the way, it's interesting. His community is more than half of the community are people expats that come from Canada and from the U.S. and some people from Europe. Guess what? His first people that he sponsored are in his community in Mexico. But because they're Americans or Canadians where we are open, guess what? They get the products to their addresses in Canada or in the US. Plus, he's using Zooms to connect. And by the way, he's inviting people. He invites people all the time. And the reason he invites people all the time, because sometimes he feels his connection is not the best, but he's inviting everybody to all the different Zooms that we had through the day. And we have done a few Zooms with them. And that's the way that he's building the business from Mexico. One day that he was talking, they have a party. He has to turn off the music because they have a Hawaiian party in Mexico. Imagine, but a Hawaiian party in Mexico, and people with the music was in the background. He put it muted, and then at one point he forgot to take the camera off, and you could see the people dancing in the back. That way, and he was in a Zoom where he had 3 people. Think about that. And that's the beauty about technology today. And I'm going to go back to the slide. To go to the next part. Actually. Now, okay. Oh, I thought it was in my slide already. No, it's not. Okay. Now, this is interesting. How invite people and the scripts. This is the simple script. I'm going to tell you right now. Actually, let me get out of here because on purpose I didn't put it here because I want to tell you how simple is this script. Actually, it's there. I thought I didn't, but it doesn't matter. It's very simple. On a text, you are going to send a voice text. Voice text. Hi, Dana. Yeah, I understand. Okay, no problem. By the way, I'm going to call you this afternoon because I would like to talk to you. But anyway, very simple. Very simple. You tell people, I have to talk to you to a voice message. Why a voice message? You can send a lot of text messages. You can send even bold text messages that for a little while I was doing. But actually, a voice message is way more powerful. And you're saying something like very simple. I have to talk to you when we can talk. On a voice message. It's different writing. Because when the people is reading, I want to talk to you, and I'm very excited. That's the people what they read. I'm very excited. When can we talk? That's what they read. But when you say, I'm so excited, when can we talk? Just did. That's it. The person may respond. Usually, it's interesting. When most people, when you leave a text, they're going to send you back a text. Hey, what's up? They say, I'm pre-launching a business and I want to do it with you because I know the two of us together can make a fortune. I'm pre-launching my business right now and I want to do it to you because I know the two of us together can do very well. Again, I'm pre-launching, not launching. I'm pre-launching my business. I'm pre-launching my business and I will talk to you because I know the two of us together can do very well, or the two of us together can make a lot of money, or the two of us together we are going to have fun. Depending on the personality. If it's a fun personality, you say the two of us together are going to have so much fun. If it's a person very analytical, the two of us together can, I don't know, can learn so many new things. This is an analytic person. Go to countries, learn more about the culture, buy computers, whatever. If it's a person that wants to make money, the two of us together are going to make a lot of money. The two of us together. Don't say you are going to make a lot of money. Don't say you, the two of us together, because working as a team. And I have a team that's working with me. That's the way you call it. And I have a team that is working with me. Let me invite you to this Zoom. Could be live. Or let me invite you to this page. The video, the first video is only 2 minutes long. When can you see it? Let me meet one more person. When can you see it? When can you see it? The person say 8 o'clock at night, for example. You say, that means if I call you 8:30, will be okay. Again, where can you see it? If I call you, and then this is what you said. This is very important. Okay, let me slow down again. if I send you a link, when can you see it? 8 o'clock. If they say 8 o'clock, he said, that means if I call you at 8:30, will you have seen it already, or will be okay? The person say yes. And then you say, this is very important, I will send you the link 5 minutes before 8. Let me tell you why. Because if you just send the link, the person is going to forget and they're not going to have a commitment to watch it. But you say, okay, let me send you the link 5 minutes to 8. And 5 minutes to 8, you send a text, hey, here's the link. I call you in half an hour. That's simple. And that is for a video that's recorded, the website that I show you, or could be, or for a Zoom, you say, okay, we have a Zoom at 8 o'clock. That means if I call you about 5 to 8, would you be great to be on the Zoom? You don't have to be on the Zoom, but you can be at the beginning to make sure that your friend is. I prefer to be on the Zoom, but if for some reason you can't, don't use it as an excuse not to invite somebody at 8 o'clock. But it's important that at least for a couple of minutes you are there, and then if you are in any event or anything that is the reason you cannot do it, the complete Zoom, then you just leave. And then you call the person later for follow-up. It's so important to become a master in something simple. Hey, I have something great to tell you. Remember, text messages and messages also on social media or whatever person that you have in the internet. It's not only your phone, but the text messages work way better when you are having a voice. And I noticed it when I send, like, for example, 10 voice messages and I send 10 text messages, usually the best responses, most of the time, and once in a while, it can be a different day, a weird day, but most of the time, the voice messages work better because they show your excitement. Again, you say, you're right. I'm so excited about something. I'm pre-launching my meeting. Where can you talk? That's simple as that. Where can you talk? I would love to talk to you. And if you write it, the people are reading, where can you talk? I'm excited. Where can we talk? That's when the person is reading. But if you say the message, again, you leave the message, I'm so excited. When can we talk? I have to talk to you. That sounds totally different. It's what audio messages. Now, the follow-up. This is something cool that the technology has helped us tremendously. You can do a follow-up with a 3-way text message. Simple. You add the person to a message, and then you have a 3-way message. It's so cool. Why? Because you, at that point, for some reason, if the person that you're doing the 3-way call, your upline, is not available in person, can be responding on recording. And you can be so more effective. And that is basically a system for follow-up. Not just, if you for some reason your upline is not available, you can right away. You don't have to even say, are you available at 3 o'clock to send you a text? No, you don't do that. You send a text, add the person that you're doing the follow-up, and then you have your upline or the person that you're working with, and start the follow-up right away. The same if it's a first contact, for some reason you want to have your upline, start it right away. Use technology, and that's a system, by the way. Everything has a system. There's a process, like I said. The process is you have the list of your people, and then the process to get to that list is connect. It's a process of 3 steps. It's interesting. We're in three steps to get to the list. Very simple. The first one is connecting, and connecting is when you invite and etc. The second one, presenting. You are using the tools, and the third one is follow-up. And again, the follow-up could be so simple. It's another system. What is the system for follow-up? Let's start a process on the 3-way test right now. The 3-way test, by the way, could be, this is interesting too, or could be 3-way messaging also on Facebook. You can do the same thing. In Facebook, you can actually do it with video too. Not only audio, you can do it 3-way text too, although there are some systems that, or they are not set up for 3-way voice. You can do it one-on-one, but not 3-way voice when you are doing some systems. But on Facebook, you can do 3-way video. That's the core. 3-way video. A 3-way voice is very powerful. If you can do it on your phone, just do 3-way voice too, because it's very powerful. You want to hear the person that you're doing, your upline or your leader with excitement, and you have your excitement, even if the other person is just listening. See, this is This is technology that's going to help us to go faster. And remember the numbers that I said at the beginning. As a matter of fact, let me go back to in the screen of that. Okay. 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 Perfect. Sure. Okay. Actually, let me go here. The numbers. All right. $20 people. Your goal is to sponsor at least 20 people. The faster you do it, the faster you grow. And this is, if you did it in 30 days, you want to do it in 30 days, this is the activity. 20 approaches a day, 5 days a week, 5 of them are going to look at the business. And that's the way that you are going to you are going to reach to that goal. If you want to do it in 60 days and in 90 days, you see the numbers. And this is important. I'm going to repeat this, very important that you show the whole picture. If a person say to you, I just want to look at the products, you say, okay, that sounds perfect. Now, it's okay if I suggest something. Always use the word, is it okay if I suggest something? I would like to show you the whole picture because I don't want you to get upset with me when you find out that you can have the product for free. I guess that's a business. And then you can send them short information about the pay plan, or you can actually you can actually tell them, hey, you can make money on this. Just by referring to people that, and if they refer also people, you can create an income that not only pay for your product, but it could pay for your car, for your house, or who knows, even more. But these are the numbers. Very important. This is something else very important. Make sure you have a person that you work with you as your accountability partner, and could be even a small group of accountability, maybe even 5 is the minimum, the maximum. Okay, let me go to the next one. And the tools. Remember this site, llaunch.com. Right now, it's active already, and it has a counter. Like I showed you before, the counter is to the end of May, although that counter can change because we don't know the dates. Why there's a counter? We are currently in pre-launch in 14 countries simultaneously, and I plan to officially launch in the last week of May 2023. And then there is a 1.5-minute video that's really great done by Peseo, by Tree. Jeez. And the system is very simple. Again, invite people, invite to preview a site or a Zoom, the site that we show you, or a Zoom, because we have 3 Zoom, 3-way text or call follow-up, close, or just is keeping follow-up, because not everybody is going to say yes right away. And this is very simple. Now, I said it on the text that I was going to show you how to earn 6-figure or more this year. That's the way. For the next 10 months, you focus and be consistent connecting with people. You never, ever have to worry about income, the money the rest of your life. Because I really believe that you can get to 6-figure. I said at the beginning of the call how you don't have to be a higher rank person to really earn a good check here. I told you the story how I was not even a 3-star, I was a 2-star last week. I had not qualified for 2-star, and my income was already around the $10,000 in a week by the 3rd day. Of course, eventually I got all the way to 4-star, and that increased way more. And when I say way more, of course, it was a circumstance, different circumstance, because we were moving a lot of groups, of course, many orders at the same time, of course. But that's a mirror of what can happen in the future by starting small. And it's very simple. Bring 2, help them to bring 2, and repeat this process. And of course, you teach people exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and I would like to have some questions. We have probably like 50 minutes for questions. And the way you can unmute yourself. Okay. Oops. Okay, let me stop the recording here. And let me stop.